you go. Thank you. Thank you. Now, this week, if my tie's crooked, will somebody tell me before half the show goes by? Is that all right now? Thank you very much. If I asked you what actress appeared in the films Carnal Knowledge and Dog Day Afternoon, how many have it already? Annie Hall with me. You might not guess immediately, but nor may you know exactly what I did in Annie Hall. But if I asked you who was nominated for an Academy Award for Hester Street, I'm sure you would say the incomparable Carol Kane from Taxi and any number of things, and you'd be right. She has a new film called Jumping Jack Flash, a highly original title. We'll talk about that. Carol Kane, right now. This was meant for me to be more forward or higher, or for you. Did you request a pillow?
I didn't request it. I'll accept it if you want to give it to me.
Well, it's certainly a lovely thing.
And I'd like to offer you this solid gold watch.
What earth do you have in mind?
Oh, these solid gold watches. These are the Whoopi Goldberg Jumping Jack Flash commemorative
watches. A genuine Jumping Jack Flash watch?
Yes.
Well, I'll put that right next to Mickey here.
Cheap for you.
Well, this is a splendid thing, Carol. Thank you. I don't know when I've ever had anything quite so lovely. You know, I sweated for you once because I always identify with people who are up for an Oscar.
Oh.
And, well, for one reason, it's usually the person you're pulling for doesn't always get it, particularly if it's yourself, I suppose. And then there's always a jinx attached to the Oscar, they say.
They say.
You won't work for the next 5 years.
They say if you're nominated, you won't work for a year, and if you get it, it'll be 2 years before you work again.
And in your case?
Well, actually, it was almost a year to the day after I was nominated before I got another job. It's true. The World's Greatest Lover was the first film I did.
What's operating there? Is it that they figure, well, they'll expect her to be doing an Oscar performance in this film, and what can it be?
Well, seriously, what I think it is that if you manage to do, oops, my microphone's showing here. Have you all ever seen one of these?
Listen,
Pardon me.
Someone said that to me in the park today.
Richard, I'll start again.
Weren't
we talking about
I don't think any gentleman would look at a lady's microphone anyway. So. I'll keep my eyes up here, yes.
Thank you. I think, or I hope what it is that's operating is that if you do a good job in a performance, a good enough job to get very identified with that specific character, people then don't offer you another script until a similar character comes up. And I think, well, a film called Hester Street, I don't think there's ever going to be another character like that. So
if you play a blind Puerto Rican lesbian nun or something,
then
you're going to get that kind of role for,
I think so.
For a while.
Really, I mean, I think that's what it is, yeah. I mean, Louise Fletcher won that year, and I know that she had a tough time for a while.
Ah, for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that's right. Nurse Ratchet was a wonderful name.
Yeah, Ratchet.
Yeah. You worked with the late Andy Kaufman, and I suppose he would have enjoyed the fact, and it sounds kind of grim, that when he died, people thought this is his biggest put on. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Because he would go to extreme measures to convince people of the most bizarre things. And somebody said this is probably his masterpiece. And of course, sadly, it was not true.
Well, I think that there are still people that believe that he's still around.
For a year, people said, I'll bet he'll walk on Saturday Night Live or something, and it'll be his biggest,
And I think that he would be somewhat, well, it's a funny thing about Andy, though, because he was so much a child in some ways, so pure. He was so pure that sometimes, I mean, his reaction could either be great pride that we believed him, or just total amazement, and he would say, what, are you crazy? I mean, I would never do anything like that. He was quite shocked sometimes when people believed in his jokes.
Does everybody know we're talking about Andy Kaufman, best known from Taxi as Lutka?
Latka.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a bit of movie to show us from Jumping Jack Flash? Or
Apparently I don't. I'm going to have to reenact it for
would
you.
you? Hey, listen, do I get the Whoopi Goldberg part?
If you want it, you got it.
We're frequently mistaken for each other, so
I think we don't have a film clip, I think.
Would you set it up anyway and tell us what we would have seen if we had one?
Well, it would have been great.
Yeah.
No,
It's a mystery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mystery about a young woman who works in a computer room in a bank, transferring funds from one country to another. I work there also with her. And someone taps into a computer from Russia, someone who's been frozen behind the Iron Curtain and can't get out and needs her help.
Don't tell any more.
No.
That's as much as the movie as I've seen. I was supposed to go to a screening, and I went and I saw the beginning. I said, don't anybody tell me how the rest of it goes. You're really wonderful in it. And I'm not saying that just because your microphone's showing. We will be back right after this. Stay with us.